Yesterday, Bungie provided an update for weapon balancing coming in Season 23 and revealed some of the exotic weapons it's going to be worth getting if you don't have them already. Today, I'm going to go through the update in detail, plus we're going to have a look at how to get the exotic weapons. So when you're planning for Season 23, you're going to be in the best position to take advantage of these exotic changes in Destiny 2. Without further delay, let's dive right into the list. And first of all, we've got the Vex Mytha class. Let's go into that update from Bungie. Bungie say, although Vex Mytha class received both a range buff and a PvE damage buff in Season of the Witch, we believe it has additional room to grow in PvE and find a unique role. We've increased the damage against minor and boss combatants. We're going to be experimenting with a different style of anti-champion gameplay. Instead of having intrinsic anti-champion perk, we're massively increasing the damage that the linear fusion rifle mode deals to all champions. This places it in a unique space of being more of a Swiss Army knife and less of a specialist. We envision it as a weapon that you can take into any activity regardless of which champion type is present and still have it be an effective tool, especially when it's utilised in concert with other anti-champion abilities. So, increased damage versus minor red bar combatants by 10%, bosses by 25% and champions by 200% when it is in linear fusion rifle mode. Well, to get the Vex Mytha class, you want to run the Vault of Glass raid. You can find that in the Legend Sectant via the Director. It is a random drop from Atheon, and that of course is the final boss. Next up, we've got Revision 0. So, as a second part of our anti-champion experiment, we're also increasing Revision 0's damage versus champions, although by a much lower amount, since the weapon also retains its intrinsic anti-barrier, so increased damage versus champions by 100%. And to get this one, you want to run the Operation Seraph Shield mission as a reward from the end of that mission. You can access this from the Exotic Mission Rotator in their Legends tab, and is currently on a 3-week rotation, and Revision 0 is also craftable with a selection of catalysts. Well, next up we have Thorn, the exotic hand cannon, and this one has to be one of my favourite weapons in the game. It is a classic from Destiny 1, and it's going to be excellent in PvE and also PvP next season, so it is well worth getting if you haven't got it already. It also has some unique interactions with Necrotic Grip, that is of course the Warlock exotic gloves. Here's the update from Bungie. In Season 23, Thorn will be getting both a catalyst to bring its strength up in PvP, and also change the base behaviour to make it more fun in PvE content. So picking up a Remnant can overflow the magazine up to 40 rounds maximum, and the Catalyst is going to grant you plus 20 range and plus 10 stability. So getting or picking up a Remnant grants additional range, handling and mobility. Wow, that is going to be absolutely fantastic. So to get Thorn, you can purchase this one from the exotic kiosk in the tower. That is of course the Monument to Lost Lights, and you can buy it for materials. Next up, we have the class exotic Glaives. So Bungie say, we've also done some tuning on the class exotic Glaives introduced in the Witch Queen. The below changes are for all 3 Glaives to make use of their exotic functionality, both for more forgiving and they're going to be also more understandable. So grant 1 ammo when you activate the perk, so you can use it even when you're out of ammo. No longer passively drains the shield energy when you special reload to activate the perk. No longer deactivated by reloading or stowing the weapon. So first of all, we've got the Edge of Intent. That one is for the Warlock. So Edge of Intent seemed like it was begging for some Solar 3.0 interaction instead of the previous generic healing effect. The larger area of effect helps it reach more nearby allies as well. So we've got the changes here. So change the effect of the healing turret projectiles to grant cures and provide restoration. Increase the AoE radius to 8 meters to benefit more nearby allies. And increase the magazine size from 4 to 5. Then we've got Edge of Action. This one is for the Titan. So we wanted to make the baby bubble more effective in endgame content. Now it provides some benefits to weapons just for passing through it, even if you do not remain inside. So passing through the bubble now grants bonus reload speed, handling, and a small amount of stacking bonus damage in addition to the overshield. And reduce the health of the bubble from 8,000 to 2,400 to account for the increased uptime and the improved effects. Finally, we've got Edge of Concurrence. That is for the Hunter, of course, so the glaive changes mentioned already made this quite solid, but we felt that the Lightning Seeker presented a fun opportunity for Arc 3.0 interaction. So Lightning Seeker now jolts targets on impact and reduces the direct hit of Lightning Seeker to account for the free ammo granted. So if you're looking for how to get these class-specific glaives, I've got a full guide on the channel, and you just need to hit the search bar and try that out. Next up, we have Winterbite. So Bungie say we didn't want to leave out Winterbite from the Glaive Improvement Pass, so we did make it a little bit stronger and a little bit less lethal to the user. So increase the detonation damage of the larger projectile by 25%, and the self-damage blast radius has been halved, and the self-damage also has been reduced. So to get Winterbite, you want to complete the Lightfall campaign and then do the follow-up exotic missions. You can find a full guide for how to get Winterbite on the channel. Just simply find the search bar, search Winterbite, and you will find it. We've also got some general changes coming to a few weapon types, including auto rifles. So auto rifle DPS is generally in a good place, but they were lagging behind when it comes to damage against minor combatants. So increase the damage against minors. So increase the damage against minor combatants by 10%. Next up, pulse rifles. So pulse rifle DPS in PvE is comparable to scout rifle damage, but in the new sandbox, they are more closely aligned with hand cannons and auto rifles in terms of range. As such, we've increased their damage against minor and major combatants to move them closer to other mid-range options, and we'll continue to monitor them and see how this changes their effectiveness. So increase the damage against minor and major combatants by 12.5%. Next up, sniper rifles. So we are continuing our trend of moving snipers up by a small amount at a time to make sure we do not upset the encounter balance in PvE. So increase the sniper rifle PvE damage with a flat buff of 15%. And it also applies to exotic sniper rifles that use heavy ammo. So given these changes, it is well worth looking at Whisper of the Worm once again. So we've got some examples there of some specific exotics and also some families of weapons to get, but it is worth highlighting the changes coming to Osteostrider, especially if you use that weapon on a regular basis, as a big nerf is coming our way. So Bungie say Osteostrider has been, quite frankly, far too powerful for the ease of use it provides when it comes to ad clear in PvE. It has more range than most other SMGs, but does not require kills and does not rely heavily on precision aim to activate one of the strongest AoEs we've ever seen in Destiny 2. In addition, the lingering poison damage has benefited from the damage scaler that SMGs get in PvE content, which was intended to buff SMGs directly impact that damage. The scaler, which is one of the highest scalars of any weapon type in the game, is pushing the poison damage to such an extreme level it's been difficult for any other weapon to compete in the ad clear role. While it is likely that this change will not move the needle on the Osteostrider by a substantial amount, it will at least be slightly less of an outlier compared to other ad clear weapons. To preempt the argument, buffing other weapons up to the same level would be power creep to an extreme degree and very unhealthy for the game as a whole, so it's not something we are going to explore. So Bungie say they've removed the SMG damage bonus scaler that was affecting the poison damage. That brings Osteostrider poison down to match his standard necrotic grip poison, though as an exotic it will still deal 40% damage bonus against minors. Well, that is it for the exotic weapons to look out for in Season 23. I don't know about you, I'm really looking forward to the Thorn changes. Thorn is one of my most favourite weapons in the game. I really can't wait to get my hands on Thorn in Season 23. Well, let me know in the comments what you think about these exotic changes. Would really love to hear what you think. But for now, that is it for this guide for the exotic weapons for Season 23. And as always, thank you so much for watching or listening. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you real soon.